Hey guys. Ooh, what's that smell?
You know, like that's the smell of fear, Velma. Fear! As well as fish, rotten eggs, stale rice, and, I do believe tarragon.
Has anyone seen Daphne?
It sounded like it was coming from the temple. This looks like a bell you'd find in a temple. Maybe that's where Zantua was hidden. This is a Pakwa, an important symbol in Taoism. It could be a key to some hidden secret.
Damn, everybody keeps just getting lost. That was always a problem with the let's split up and look for clues thing, wasn't it? Is that pretty much everybody ends up like getting in trouble. But isn't it also that like everybody sees something while they're getting in trouble that like gives them a clue as to what's going on? I always feel like I was telling Liv while we were watching The Witch's Ghost. Oh yeah, by the way, this is what the kitchen is. I keep wanting to call it the soup kitchen, but they're like, I think kitchen carts? But yeah, they give you an extra medal, an extra hit point, and I did this one now that Shaggy's out of the sewers. Because this game, I didn't actually know you could do that until like the very, very end of the game, the first time I played all the way through it, which was a couple months ago. And so the game was super fucking annoying. It was like there are parts later on that are kind of hard with 3 hit points. I wouldn't say hard, they're just annoying. It's very easy to get hit by shit. And like there are sections that don't give you a whole lot of Scooby snack boxes. So, yeah, I'm gonna not be an idiot about that now that I know that you can do that. And yeah, over here is the coin. I don't really know what the coins do. I just always make a point to get them. I mean, it says what they do. Costume machines have been upgraded to ninja. I mean, I don't know what that means though, because the costume has never been... Oh, I guess it's just there is an aesthetic change, never mind. Oh, that's like not that interesting. And then I don't know what the silver medal does, I forget, the silver coin. But yeah, I talked to Liv about it when we were watching Witch's Ghost, where it seems that most of the time Scooby and Shaggy like kind of accidentally corner and stumble upon the actual villain just by virtue of like they're usually looking for something to eat and then they like fucking, you know, get chased by the big ghosty or whatever. Daphne and Fred just go off to fuck and usually either get like caught or just are not seen for the entire time. And then Velma is the one that actually does the like knowing what the clues mean. So she's like, Velma is the glue holding the mystery crew together. Do they have a group name? I keep wanting to call them like the mystery team, that sounds right, or like the mystery crew. Because like Scooby-Doo and the mystery crew sounds like something that it would be called. But I don't know. I guess I'm not the expert on Scooby-Doo lore that I once thought. I do have the, I have Volume 1, I think it's 1 and 2, but it's only 1 DVD, of the original Scooby-Doo cartoon. I'd like to buy the other volumes, because, I mean, it's good. And I watched through them all like a year or 2 ago. Oh, excuse me. This is the problem with recording these in like the morning, is that I'm always just tired during them. But yeah, never mind. I forget what I was saying, so I'm just not gonna talk about it anymore. I wish these birds gave you something. I like to free them anyway, just because it makes me feel bad that they're in there. Also, the other thing about Witch's Ghost that I forgot to mention, it's a very important detail, really, is that the opening Scooby-Doo theme song in that movie during the opening credits is performed by none other than Billy Ray Cyrus. And we were listening to it And me and her both looked at each other, and at the same time we were like, okay, so either this is Billy Ray Cyrus or just someone who sounds a lot like Billy Ray Cyrus doing the Scooby-Doo theme song. Because we were like, you know, I'd believe that Billy Ray would do that. Like, I don't think he's above a direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movie, but, like, did they have the resources for that at the time? And, I mean, in hindsight, of course they did. You know, but it's not like Billy Ray is, you know, even in 1999 when that movie came out, like, it wasn't like he was some hot ticket item or whatever that would cost a bunch of money to get to do, you know, the 45-second long Scooby-Doo theme. But yeah, it was neat, and I think Tim Curry did a voice. I don't know if I mentioned that, but he was the voice of, like, the villain, who I figured was the villain from the moment that he was introduced, which was what made the fake-out ending of the revelation of the, like, mayor and everyone's involvement in the witch hoax, in the fake witch, all the more, like, confusing when it was going on. And yeah, I don't love these swinging things. This is another thing that all platformers like, is stuff that you swing on. The sound that this makes reminds me, when you're swinging on them, reminds me very much of the swinging in the Ratatouille video game, which is definitely another movie-based game, you know, licensed game that I do want to Let's Play at some point, as I'm sure you could imagine. People who have been watching me for a while have known that I have wanted to do a Let's Play of the Ratatouille game for some time. It was another one of those, like, Battle for Bikini Bottom, where, like, from the moment that I decided I wanted to make Let's Plays, I was like, oh yeah, when I make my YouTube channel, I'm gonna do the best Let's Play of Ratatouille. Of course, this was back in, you know, 2009, 2010, when there still weren't that many Let's Plays of, you know, a lot of more recent games, because it was easier for people to emulate and record older games and all that. But I didn't know how to do any of that shit at that point. I was just a little boy who liked to play SpongeBob games on my Xbox and my PS2. So, yeah, it probably would have been more novel then, but they also would have been worse LPs then. I mean, I think. They would have been worse for me. I wouldn't have wanted to watch them like 2 years later, so I guess that's cool for me at least. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, I don't really know what else to say about this Chinatown stuff. I can't really comment on it. If I were really cool, I would be, like, you know, shitting on this movie for, oh, well, this is a complete dog shit, like, Chinese culture thing, like, this isn't real, you know, this sucks, fuck Warner Brothers. Like, I wish I was cool like that and smart, but I can't tell fake Chinese stuff from real Chinese stuff because I'm a mere white American man. Anyway, now we get to listen to that screechy music and the thing come out of the door again. Brah. I still don't really get the point of that. But yeah, these swinger things are a little bit finicky, as you can see. Yeah, we get to hear it again now. I'm leaving in all of my failures in this game, just because, for one thing, it's not like the levels take that long to get through. And also, you know, like, I don't know, shut up. It's just easier. You know, why go to the trouble? You know you know, I fucked it up anyway. It's not like I'm covering anything up convincingly, so just... And if I were doing live commentary like an OG, then you'd have to deal with it anyway, so why not? It's authentic. And yeah, I love cutscenes that tell me what the button I pressed did. You know what game also is a game that I've talked about before as being one that I'll probably LP one day. Probably soon, we'll see. that I've been replaying through, just kind of like reacquaint myself for whenever that happens, is Creature from the Krusty Krab, and boy howdy, does that game have a lot of fucking unskippable cutscenes and dialogue. Holy shit. That game has a cutscene to tell you literally everything, like to convey any visual information you may need. It doesn't, like, at least in the earlier levels, maybe if I get farther into it, but I remember it being that way pretty consistently throughout, where like every room you enter and everything, there's like 3 cutscenes. There's like a story thing that you can't skip, and then there's like a tutorial-y thing that you can't skip, and then there's like a really slow-moving camera to show you that a thing moved or whatever, or a door opened, or some points appeared. Some I think they're like Z points or whatever the fuck they're called. Like, it just makes everything take forever. Like, the levels in that game would take like 9 minutes to beat if you could skip cutscenes, and it would be beautiful. That's honestly my main complaint about the game, is that it just slows everything down considerably. Just considering how, like, fast-paced and, like, yeah, there's plenty of tutorials and shit and dialogue in the other earlier SpongeBob games, but you can skip through all of it, and you can skip the cutscenes. They let you play the game, and you can just ignore all the signs and shit in Battle for Bikini Bottom and just play the game. But this, it like has to stop for like a full minute and tell you every single time you need to do something, or any time it happens. And this is something that happens a lot in this game, is that Scooby Snacks just get clipped into parts of the world and you can never get them, which I think is unfair. And that was a very lucky little jump on the edge there. Anyway, I'll save my bitching about Creature from the Krusty Krab for when I Let's Play it. Hopefully I won't do too much bitching about it. I mean, I am enjoying playing through it again, and like, my favorite thing about it is all the collectible stuff. Like, I'm so easily entertained by that shit. I don't know. Also, I want to say while it's still playing that the music in this level reminds me of RuneScape music. I just let you listen to it for a little bit. I think so. I don't know which song or anything, but there was like an area in RuneScape that I remember being in a lot when I played that game, that it sounded a lot like that music there. Anyway, this is a pretty easy little smattering of enemies if you don't let them start charging up their things before. First time I played through this game, I was able to just charge up the Scooby Zap. That's what I'm gonna call it. I know there's a name for it probably, but that's what I'm calling it. The Scooby Zap, the Kung Fu Zap. Yeah, you could just do what I just did there, and none of the enemies would be alerted at all. But for some reason, a lot of them did this time around, so I don't know what the like secret is there, but it's not hard is what I'm saying. I do like the ninja outfit. It is cool. (9/11) Sorry. Yeah, we're hitting gongs. Not much left to this level. I mean, we still have some enemies to beat. But yeah. After watching Witch's Goats, I think I'm on a new mission to watch all of the Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies, because I remember seeing several of them when I was a kid, but I don't really like remember too much about them. I just remember, like, I know that I watched them. And I'm sure, like, if I rewatch Zombie Island soon, which I need to in, like, the next couple days while I'm still on this Scooby kick, then I'm sure there'll be images that I'll see or like sounds, and I'll be like, holy shit, and it will like unlock my brain. I like how the Scooby-Doo went into that thing, because yeah, he just does one chop to the fucking... I thought you had to Scooby-Zap the thing. And yeah, I did pretty shit. I missed a bunch of stuff in this one. I was going through this one pretty quickly, and there are some areas that kind of look like you can go in another direction and do something else, but I don't know, and then I don't investigate, and then it's over. So once again, if anyone is knowledgeable about this game, please like let me know things. Give me your knowledge.
For a neighborhood restaurant. Maybe Zentuo's hideout is there. All right, let's try to solve this mystery. Help me identify the clues that will answer.
So yeah, this is kind of the general routine of the levels and worlds in this, is that you go out and do the thing. You usually have to save one of the characters in the meantime, or in the process, and not all the time though. And then you find clues, and once you have enough clues, you bring them to Velma, and the clues unlock the places. And then once you have enough of them, you do this part that I suck at, because some of these are not very intuitive. Like, why would I think, when you look at this selection of items and you think of something that has to do with a computer code, you think of fucking fortune cookie? Like, unless I said something about the fortune cookie that I missed, or if there's, like, text when you pick these things up that tell you, like, oh, the code for the thing is in the fortune cookie, then I didn't read it, so I didn't know that shit. So I just kind of completely guess, and it's a little bit annoying because you have to wait for Velma to be like, no, I think you're a fucking idiot, Scooby. So
Zentuo, you and your mutt are no match for me.
Mud?
Oh yeah, that's another favorite. That's another thing Liv pointed out while you're watching Witch's Ghosts, is the Scooby doesn't know he's a dog. He's like, dog where? Like multiple times in that movie. It's pretty great. Anyway, next time we'll be going in here. The last part. Last part of the level, that is. But yeah, see you then for that.